Hi Pisces, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your March 16th to the 31st, 2022 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Pisces, angels and spirit guides, show me. Pisces. Right here. Fantastic. So we have the Hanged Man and we have the Hierophant. So we're seeing institutions. We're seeing the structure of things quite differently than the way that we've seen them before. The Hierophant also is Taurus energy. And there is a connection here during this time with an earth sign energy, with a grounding, with a rooting, with somebody who's astoundingly pragmatic. We might actually be getting a little bit annoyed with this person. It's kind of like, oh, let's, kind of break out of your shell, like break out of, this staunchness, and let's have some fun. There's a sense here of wanting to step forward in more of a laughter. I just keep on hearing laughing. It's kind of like, I want you to laugh with me. I want you to come with me type of energy coming forward here. And it can even be within the institution of things. Like things have become really restrained, really hard to move forward, and it's like, I want you to laugh with me, I want you to come with me, I want you to be more. And so there is this sense here, even with our own business acumen, that we want to step out of a confine that we've been out of a constraint we've been put in. So just being aware of that, and we're seeing things so differently during this time. Let's look at the energy we have to be mindful of. Angels. This is the Seven of Wands. We have to be very mindful of, first of all, being in a position where we always have to be on guard, where we always have to be fighting and defending ourselves. That's going to be something we have to be quite aware of during this time. But it's also a sense of being so used to having to fight, of having to, stand our ground and say, no, I'm not going to back down. There's something that's going on where people want us to back down. They want us to step away. And Pisces here, it's that power of, no, I'm not backing down. I'm not, apologizing for something I'm not guilty of. And I am moving forward in this power that is me, in this determination that is, opening my doors. And that's going to be a very big thing for us during this time. It moves us to our chakra energy. Oh, goodness. Right there. And this is divine wisdom. This is the soul star chakra located 6 inches above our crown. We have knowledge coming in. We know. And there's going to be that energy of, well, I know. And we don't know how we know, or we don't know why we're being guided towards certain things, or why we feel drawn in certain ways. And it's going to be because divinity is leading us there. So just keeping ourselves open to this divine connection is going to be really beneficial for us. So let's see here. Let's dive deeper. We have the Seven of Cups. We have the Queen of Pentacles. We have the Eight of Cups. And we have the King of Wands. Yeah, this is definitely with the King and the Queen of... with the Queen of Wands and with the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Wands. This is definitely reiterating the energy of the workplace, of structure, of rules, because Wands, are a career, Pentacles are our finances. And there's a real sense here of stepping into a new leadership role, stepping into a new way of asserting what we want, of knowing what we're going after. We're also going to see that, okay, so it's very interesting. So somebody is taking off a mask. Somebody is, and that's what I'm being shown, somebody taking off a mask, somebody, transforming how we originally perceived them. And that's going to be very important for us. This is a person in a leadership role, most definitely. This is a person where we're seeing a part of them. Now, for some of us, it's going to be like, wow, I thought you were a different person. I thought you would handle this better. For others of us, it's like, oh, now I see your real colors. Now I see who you truly are. I totally get this now. Like, it makes so much more sense what has been happening in my life, why I've been having struggles when it comes to my career. It's because somebody's sabotaging us. It's because, and they're not actively sabotaging us. It's that they are thinking that they're doing what's best. No, they are actually actively sabotaging us. They're putting things in our way to make it look like we're not as competent as we are. So being aware of that is going to be very, very important. We're walking away from something. I mean, there's something here where it's like we've had enough, and it's that energy of I always have to fight, I always have to fight. And here, this is very much the sense of I've had enough of this. I'm walking away from what doesn't feel right, but I also get to walk on my own. I get to, move forward for me, the lone person. Walking away. That is what's really standing out here. And it's kind of like, okay, you don't have to be on my side. I don't have to be part of the party with the 8 cups. I can be walking on my own for myself, and I can be walking to the place that I need to be. And there's an illumination that's coming forward. It's very nurturing, very healing energy that's coming forward for us and with us during this time. It moves us to this sense of choices, this sense of what we dream of, what we desire, how it is that we want to move forward for ourselves. There is a sense here of, okay, I have to make some choices here. I have to pick what's important to me, and I have to leave behind what isn't. And I also have to see the dreams that I really want to be bringing forward into the here and into the now. So let's dive deeper into this. We have the 3 of Wands. We have the 6 of Cups. We have the 3 of Swords, the 5 of Cups, and the Queen of Water. Well, we are the Queen of Water, right? We're the Queen of Cups coming through. So the essence of us comes forward in this very healing, very nurturing, very loving way. And that's why we have this connection here to the moon, excuse me, to the moon guiding us. And this is going to be a time that we're looking at things in a sense of through the heart. No, we're looking at things through the heart. The heart is our filter during this time. And there is this, get on board. Now, I'm not sure if this is directly speaking to this card right here, the 3 of Wands, where it's getting on board, getting on the ship, moving us forward. But there is this sense on, I have to get on board for what's right for me, for the way that I need to move, for what it is that I desire, and for the opening of these doors. And so there's going to be new opportunities that come our way. The fact of the matter is, the past is going to hold us back. We had something that happened, as everybody does in the past, that really defined us, that really stopped us. It made us think, oh, well, I can't because of XYZ. Or we're living in the past and it's like, oh, I want to recreate this, but I can't recreate this. So it's never going to be as good as it once was. And what Spirit is really saying here is stop. Stop and be in the present of the now. Stop and be in the right here, the right now. Not the past, not the future, right here. And that's because doors are opening. And we're going to find ourselves looking at a lot of heartbreaks that, again, these are wounds that we've been carrying for quite some time. This is a pain coming forward, and this is a thing that it's at work, and I do feel this is at work. Now, it can be at finances at home, or if we're trying to change careers or wanting to change careers and things aren't flowing as nicely. That could be at home in those type of circumstances. But there's a sense here of these people, all right, who are holding us back, this mask that has been worn in a, I want to say an institution-like setting, and it's not an institution. It is like the institution of learning or the institution of work or, some sort of corporate-like setting or structured setting. The mask is coming off, but what they're doing is they know where our weak spots are. They know where our hurts and our pains are, and this is where they're going after. And this is why they're going after us, because they see us as, the Queen of Cups. this is a very nice person. The Queen of Cups is extraordinary, healing and caring and giving, only second to the Empress. And so the essence of ourselves is so loving and so connecting. And we're going to find ourselves facing a battle that we've faced before, facing hurts and pains and disappointments that we've faced before. And it's because we are a nice person, and they're taking that niceness and they're corrupting it. And they're saying, oh, well, because you're nice, you're weak. That's not the case at all. We're nice because that's who we are. And if we stop being who we are, and we fall into the constant battle, and we lose the essence of our heart and our soul and ourselves, they've won. And that's just not right. And we're going to find ourselves during this time saying enough is enough. This is where I need to be. This is what I desire for myself. And it brings us back to that essence of healing and connecting and love. And we're going to need to really remember that and ground ourselves in that energy, because if we don't, there is the energy here of being swept away and swept into the past hurts, past pains that we just don't want in our lives anymore. We have the Nine of Wands. We have the Two of Swords. We have Justice. And we have the Eight of Swords. Yeah, it's getting too much in our own heads. And there is a sense here that there is somebody that we talk to. There is somebody that we communicate with on a almost daily basis. And they have a tendency to play with our minds. They like mind games. They're cunning, they're cruel, they're manipulative. And we have to be very mindful of that when it comes to work. This is where I'm seeing that energy. Or if like we're at school and we're working towards something, there is somebody who will always be like, well, if you don't play this right, or if you don't do this right, you might not get your scholarship, or you might not get that promotion, or you might not, get this or have that. And that's the energy that I'm seeing here. So be very mindful, because they're going to want to trip us up. And they're going to just plant these little seeds that make us doubt ourselves. Now, this could also be somebody from our past that planted these seeds into our heads and made us doubt ourselves, had chains wrapped around us without having to do anything themselves. So be mindful of this during this time. There's a real sense of justice. There's a real sense of discernment and dedication, and really, really a move towards a balancing of what is needed, a balancing of where I am, a balancing of how the door is opening for us during this time. And there's also a sense of, I have to do what's right for me, even if other people just don't understand it. What we have then is we're listening to everybody else, because everybody doesn't understand where we're coming from and why we're coming from this place. What's going on here. The Nine of Wands comes into play, and it's just like everybody's coming at us. Everybody has a way for us to move forward, something that they want us to do. And we feel pulled in so many different directions that we feel like we lose ourselves. So being mindful of this is going to be very important during this time. Being mindful of the fact that, people are pulling us in different directions. They're attacking, and we're going to feel like we have to defend all this time. And it's just going to be overwhelming. There are different roads that are opening to us. There are different ways forward. We always thought that there were two very distinct paths. And yes, there are. But there is also this sense of, because I turn inward, because I've, made these decisions that were, okay, left or right type of thing. Now I'm starting to see, wow, so many more options are opening up. I can go straight. I can walk backwards. I can, zigzag, all these different things, instead of taking the proven path, or taking the path by others, or even taking the path that I thought I'd have to live. I thought it was always going to be one way or another, and Spirit saying, no, there's so much more here. Stop limiting yourself. It brings us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of. This is the Hermit. This is Virgo energy. This is turning too deeply inward. We can have a tendency during this time to just not trust anybody and turn so deeply inward that we don't see anything but ourselves. That will be detrimental. There's also an energy of a person around us who only sees like as far as their own nose. They don't see more. And what Spirit's saying here is that that person is very detrimental because they don't see the bigger picture. And because they do have some semblance of power, this could be a boss, this could be a colleague, this could be, whomever, but they have some semblance of authority. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult because they're not seeing more than what's right in front of them, or they've turned so deeply into themselves that they only see things in a very egocentric, but also it's almost detrimental way, because it's all about them. It's all about them. It's all about them. It moves us then to the subconscious chakra message, which is love. And that is, it's the heart chakra, it's the inner child, it's the sense of love and connection with ourselves, with what we want, with how we're developing, and with who we once are, who we once were. Childhood is very important for us during this time. And childhood, Pisces, it's just very important to us. The moon represents childhood. We are represented by the moon in the major arcana. And so connecting with that energy is so important and so powerful. It moves us then to the subconscious tarot energy of the Empress. We are giving birth to something. We are creating something that is powerful and beautiful and, just so outside the world of what we thought we could have or how we thought we could move things forward, that it's going to move us in such a direction that we weren't prepared for it. And yet it's been building in us for a really long time. So don't forget to express yourself. Don't forget to, open up these doors. It moves us then to the Four of Wands, not the Wands, Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups is, we're very busy looking in one direction. That's because of the energy drain. That's because of the people who are demanding, look this way. This is where we have to be. That we're not going to see the gift coming in from the other direction, from the other avenue. And this gift is going to be something that right now, because we're not ready for it, we're not ready to see it, it does feel like, okay, this is just another burden. This is just another thing I have to get through. But what Spirit is showing is that it's opening us forward. It's opening us in a way that we hadn't expected. And now we're like, oh, well, maybe I can move forward that way. And, oh, maybe that really is an option. It's opened our eyes. It brings us then to the Eight of Wands. And the Eight of Wands here is things really moving quickly. We're going to see ourselves finding new inspiration. And it's not necessarily us moving quickly, because here she's on a panda bear, and panda bears are terribly slow. It's not necessarily us moving quickly, but the ideas coming forward within our own minds, the inspirations illuminating us, the doors opening. That's going to be very changing, and it's also going to be very inspiring for us. It leads us then to the Ten of Wands. We're putting down a burden that has, given us gray hairs or agita, indigestion, or made us super worried. We're going to look at things, and our main reaction is going to be, oh no, I can do that. I can put more and more on our shoulders. And again, I don't know why this is all so centered around work, but it does feel like, oh, I'll just keep on putting everything on my shoulders so that when I come home, there's a level of exhaustion that people just don't even get, because we've been doing so much, we've been working so hard, and now we're releasing it. And that's actually letting us have this creative avenue, this creative way forward. And it can also be that there's somebody in our household that has just put all this burden on themselves, that when they come home, it's not even pleasant to be around them. And we're watching them, kind of drain our own energy. So just be mindful of this. It can work in different ways, but we just feel overburdened, and it's really quite intense. And so we're releasing a lot during this time to be able to say, okay, now I stand here. Now I move forward in this direction. Now I see what it is that I want and that I need. And that's going to be very important for us, because we've reached an end of a cycle when it comes to the way that we handle responsibilities that are put on our shoulders. We're going to see ourselves stepping into a new zone, a new way of being, a new way of understanding things. All right, Pisces. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the intensity of ourselves, but also as we start to see our own genius shine through, our own, distinction shine forward. So let's take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Taurus. Pisces, May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Pisces.